Development Officer for Ann Carlsen Center. Giving Hearts Day, an important day to them, but certainly the work they do 365 days a year is life-changing and pretty incredible, and has been for a lot of years. Eric, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah.
Good to see you again.
We'll get that up? Oh, now I can hear you. Okay, good. So if someone says, tell me about the history of the Ann Carlsen Center, when did it start? How did it begin? What do you do? What do you tell them?
Well, it's a long history here in the state. Started in 1941 out of Jamestown. Started just serving about 13 individual with disabilities, and back in the 40s, 50s, probably even the early 60s, primarily a population that had a disability, but probably closer to polio, something similar like that. And back then there wasn't a lot of accessible schools, and so it was a school for children with disabilities. And then it just evolved over the years. And now the Jamestown site serves a very, very complex medically group of individuals, more so than they did back when they first started their history. And we've grown quite a bit over the last about over 10 years. In 2009, we were serving about 250 individuals, just primarily in the Jamestown area. And now today we're serving over 4,000 in 8 locations all across the state. And we do work with anyone who's got disabilities or delays. In this area, on the Red River Valley side, we do a lot of early intervention, behavioral health supports. We do some mental health supports, do some in-home and assist with families. We do some employment work up in Grand Forks to help individual disabilities, for some, find their first job ever, which, as we know, that's a great sense of purpose. And then we go as far west as Minot, North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Devil's Lake. We've got an amazing program that works with, does some recreational work out in Bottineau at the Bottineau Winter Park called Annie's House.
I love that place.
It's a great location.
Yeah.
And we do some stuff with Wounded Warriors there too. So we do a lot of work with individuals with disabilities. Devil's Lake, Grand Forks, I think I mentioned, and then obviously our hub in Jamestown. And we were just recently in Moorhead here about a year ago. We went over to Moorhead to help with do some mental health work with people on the autism spectrum. So we like to say we're closer than you think, doing more than you know. And got almost 80 years of working with individuals with disabilities, and we're just proud to be here in the state, proud to have an impact, and excited about Giving Hearts Day today.
Who was Ann Carlsen?
Dr. Ann was, not many people know her, which is too bad, but she's one of the winners of the Rough Rider Award. Is that what it's called again?
Yeah.
Yep. And she was born in the early 1900s without limbs below the elbows or below the knees. And, back in that time, many of those children born in that manner may have been put into an institution. But her family really embraced her as part of the family. And that kind of resilience that she grew up with, kind of knowing that she, her father used to say, a good mind will make up for 2 legs and 2 arms any day of the week. And so she went and got her education and was offered a job at the Ann Carlsen Center in 1941. So she opened up the school with us in Jamestown, and eventually, through her leadership and her efforts, continued to get promoted. And then we eventually named the entire organization after her. And she has since passed on in the early 2000s, but a legacy that we feel obligated to uphold and to make sure we care for individuals in our communities in our state with disabilities.
What if there was not an Ann Carlsen Center? That's what you need to ask yourself, because the kind of care you do is so important to so many families, and the burdens that would be there without it, which is a good question to ponder on Giving Hearts Day, because as you're looking for a charity worthy of your dollars, certainly Ann Carlsen Center belongs in that camp. What will you do with the dollars raised today?
Dollars raised today really help us to ensure that we're able to continue to grow our programs, and that's something that obviously with the growth in services the last 10 years, we're willing to go to where the needs are, and it's been that support that's been able to allow us to do it. It also is the difference between being a good organization. Like many human service organizations, we do receive some government money from Medicaid, private insurance, but it's that would make a good program. But what we do with the donations that we receive is we make it a great program. We're able to do different things all across the state. One example of something we're going to be doing here that we've done in Grand Forks, we're going to do one in Dickinson this year, and we're going to do one in Fargo this year, is we do a bike camp where we work with kids for a week-long bike camp, and we teach them how to ride bike. And about 85% of the kids involved in that program learn how to ride bike within 5 days. And it's something you take for granted, but individual disabilities, it's something they should be able to accomplish too.
Just like the skiing at the
Just like it, yeah.
Botno,
You
and
get to play.
Yeah, it's great. Honor Dr. Ann Carlson's memory today and all of her unbelievable grit. And go to givingheartsday.org. Make a donation today for the Ann Carlsen Center.
Can I mention one quick thing though?
We'll do it after the break.
Okay,
Hang on
great.
one second.
Thanks.
Make 2020 the year you see.
Kevin, did you see that note? I was getting some of the view real low.